Cowboys Nation, Cowboys Nation, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to another episode of Defending the Boys. I am your host, D. Will, and we're getting ready to talk a little bit about the countdown. The countdown to March the 11th is coming. The start of a brand new season, and we're going to talk about it right now.
They are an accident waiting to happen. Stephen A, hush your mouth, talking all that noise. You can hate all you want, but we still them boys. Dirty, dirty D, Texas where we stay at. Me and the side in order till you know that's where we play at. Hey, this year, this the payback. Yeah, we them Cowboys, and nah, we don't play that. Work, this is Cowboy Nation. Work, welcome to Cowboy Nation. Work, y'all can keep on hate. Work.
Guys, listen, I am very excited about it now. I'm not jumping up and down and screaming. You know, it's a brand new year. We got behind us this first year under Brian Schottenheimer. Didn't go the way that we planned. We have a new year starting in less than 30 days. I think about 27 days is what we actually have left. And what we have to try to figure out is what the Cowboys need to do in order to be ready for the off season. Okay, so right now, you may know that the Cowboys are about $33 million, I believe, according to some of the records that are out there. About $33 million over the salary cap. That means that they are $33 million in the red. They have no money, and they owe $33 million more than what they are allowed to spend, and not more than what they actually have in the bank. So understand that the salary cap is put on by the NFL. That has nothing to do with the amount of money that Jerry Jones has in his pocket. He could probably come out and pay out of his pocket, but the NFL is trying to keep all the teams similarly even to keep it from going too far, in one direction. The person with the most money always wins type of thing. So they created a salary cap, and the Cowboys have basically have spent more money than they're allowed to spend for next year. So they have to make some changes. Now, those changes are pretty simple. It's really not taking money away from anybody. All they have to do is restructure some of the contracts that they have. Matter of fact, just to get to even, basically, if they just restructure one person's, they're at even, right? They can restructure Dak Prescott, and I believe that they get some 30 something $million available in the cap space. Now, that doesn't take $30 million away from Dak Prescott. In case you're wondering, why would Dak Prescott want to give up $30 million just to help out the team? No, that's not what I'm saying. It's just restructuring his contract and, making part of it a signing bonus and different things like that, which doesn't count against the salary cap, right? So basically being able to restructure it so that they have a little bit more money. Now, that doesn't get the entire deal done. However, there are a lot of people who could come to the table who've actually said that they were willing to come to the table. Other than that, I'm going to say a lot of people, but I mean, there are others, right? So CeeDee Lamb has also come to the table and said, hey, man, I need him on the other side. He makes the whole team better. This is how we win the Super Bowl. These are the things that I want. He's going to be willing to, and that's going to give, some additional space there. I think a little over 15, like 18, 19 million, somewhere like that. And then there's other people. There's people that they may decide that they want to cut. They may move on from a Donovan Wilson, which would, obviously clear his salary out for next year and allow him to go into other places. And no, not Donovan Wilson. He's already on the Malik Hooker as well. Who I meant to say, the other safety. That's not something I'm suggesting. I'm just kind of showing you how certain things that they could do. Terrence Steele, if he doesn't just outright get cut, which I'm not a fan of his, and I know everybody here is like, man, D-Will, you really just don't like Terrence Steele. Well, I don't think he's the best right tackle in the world. I'm also nervous about letting him go because I've seen what we have behind him. It's not better, so he's bad at passing and good at running, and we could easily put somebody over there who would be bad at both. I don't like that option either. So I don't know about cutting him now just because we don't have a better replacement, right? But with that being said, even if we do decide to keep him, I would assume that they would want to restructure his contract as well. I mean, they just gave him a big contract, but we need to be able to do some things to get to where we need to be. And if you're not willing to do that, then maybe that's the reason why we're forced to let you go, because you're not willing to help the team out and you're not playing the best anyway. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm just simply saying that Terrence Steele is another one who could restructure his contract. And although he hasn't said he was willing to do so, I would almost assume that the front office is kind of like, yeah, I mean, you can do it, or you can not do it and go play for somebody else, because we're not going to keep paying you this money, and you're not a team player. So that would just be my assumption. Can't say that that's what they would actually do, but that's just another player who would probably clear up a decent amount of money. Now, there are obviously multiple people, and we could continue to go around and around on different people who could do things. Some people are going to get cut. Some people are going to have to be restructured, and then they're going to have to create space. Now, I've overheard people saying that Stephen Jones has made it very clear that they're going to have money to play around in the offseason, in the free agency. That means that these moves are going to be made in the next 30 days. That's what that means. And they got a lot of moves that they got to make, because if you're looking at being $33 million under, understanding that it's not only $33 million to get you to even, but then you need another, 28 million um, just to put Pickens on the what's it called, the franchise tag, right? You need 28 million just to give him a franchise tag. So now 33 plus 28, and I don't believe that that's the best way to do it. I do not believe that the franchise tag is the best way to do it. I feel like if you do a long-term deal, you've already said you want him to be here for a long time. Do a long-term deal and give him some signing bonus, upfront money, and spread those payments out to make it a less than $28 million hit on your salary cap every year, is the way that I personally feel like it needs to be done, from just a team management standpoint. But that's not a guarantee. Sometimes things happen and sometimes things don't. Let's see. Okay, just want to make sure. Javonte Williams also needs to be compensated, and there needs to be some money there where he goes. If it's him or somebody else, listen, I don't believe that we can go with last year's two. They're not rookies anymore, right? But the two rookies that we had last year, I don't think we can go with those two rookies as our two running backs. So you're going to have to either take Javonte Williams, or you're going to have to bring in somebody else. Either way, you're going to need some money for that. And what how much that is, 8 million, 10 million, I don't know the answer to that quite yet, but I know that you're going to need that additional space. In order to create this money, there's going to have to be some moves. Some people are going to either have to be cut, or some people are going to have to do some restructuring, and probably a combination of the two. You're probably going to have some cutting and some restructuring, but what I do know is that you only have about 27 days to get yourself there. Because people are going to start moving. As a matter of fact, you got about 25 days, because I believe the 9th is the legal tampering moment. I think the 11th, March 11th, is when the new season starts, when you can start doing stuff for free agency. But I think the 9th is when they can start calling people. You want to be available to start making some of those calls. You want to know what you can do in free agency, people that you can sign, positions that you can get, and really start to figure out what we're going to be doing. I mean, our draft plan can't be done. We got too many holes. We have way too many holes. There is absolutely no way that we can solve all of that with our current draft positions. There's absolutely no way. I mean, we need safeties, one of two ways, right? If you decided that you want to re-sign Donovan Wilson and Malik Hooker, that's fine. You need money for that, right? The my guess and my honest opinion is, again, I don't have a problem with Donovan Wilson. I've said this in many videos, but I'm assuming that you can get a similar player for a little less money. He's earned his money, and I'm hoping that he gets it, and he can go ball out with somebody else. I just don't think the Cowboys are in position to pay him what he has earned. Um, he had a bad year. I'll still chalk that up to coaching. I don't care what anybody say. Um, And that's a question that I do want to pose because I asked Vach Lombardi this on Twitter. He hadn't quite answered me, but I would like for you guys to answer me in the comments. Put it down here in the comments. If there is a position, okay, if there is a position that we can afford to, I'm gonna say overlook, but that's probably a bad word, but we cannot handle, that we have to hope can be handled with purely better coaching, right? So here's what I mean by that, right? If we need a safety and a cornerback and a linebacker and some edges, and we also need at least one offensive tackle, if not two, right? We need those things, right? And we know that we need those things. We don't have but two positions where you can you got two first round picks, you don't have any seconds or any thirds, right? So now you're looking into a position to where your two first rounds are the only people that you can just count and bank on can maybe be a starter, and we done missed on some of those, but let's just say we know that these two first rounds are going to come in and be a starter, but I've given you six positions that we need to fill, right? And although you might get a diamond in the rough in the fifth, sixth, seventh round, those aren't necessarily guarantees. So, and then we're $33 million behind as well, as far as the salary cap is concerned. So, if there's a position that you just couldn't fix, you had to pick one position that you just could not fix, and you would have to hope that better coaching this year than last year is going to help solve that position, what position would it be? Would you say, okay, we'll go with the backup safety? Let's say Donovan Wilson's still not there, right? So now you're talking about Malik Hooker and Wanye Thomas with maybe somebody, a safety that you pick up in the sixth round, and just hope that your coaching as well as the other backups that you have sitting there. Is it the safety? Is it a linebacker? Can you go with a sixth round linebacker and hope that he can be coached better than kind of what the other guys that we have for? Is it your edges? Can you say maybe that obviously Ezraku is going to be a better edge this year because of the opportunities that'll be given to him that maybe weren't given to him last year. And then the Dante Fowlers, maybe we end up keeping him, and even a Sam Williams, or just the different people. Like, will they just do better with better coaching? So we're not going to worry about a new edge because there's better coaching now, and we feel like the players that we have aren't the best, but can do a serviceable job. James Houston and different stuff like that. Is the edge that position? So that means that you don't want to necessarily draft in the first round of edge. You would draft the safety and the linebacker and hope that better coaching will handle you on your edge positions. If it's not edge, what is it? Because I don't believe that even with free, I don't think you can solve every glaring hole that the Cowboys have. So what is that position? What position can we afford to say we're gonna have to go where we already? Is it maybe running back? Like, hey, look, we're not gonna sign the $8 million guy, and we're gonna have to go with our last year's our two second year players. Phil Maffa, Jaden Blue are going to have to answer the bell, and going to have to get us there. And with the success of Dak Prescott, we're going to roll the dice on running back. What one position is it? I will say that we still have one of the top five offenses in the league with the two tackles that we currently have. So maybe that's the position that you just say, look, I can't afford to address offensive tackle at all in the offseason or in the draft, or maybe I have to do it with a late round draft and hope we get lucky with an offensive tackle. But we're just going to try to go with another year in the system and hoping that our two tackles can hold up and that can just keep moving around like he's been doing. Is that the position? Again, what position in your mind can the Cowboys just say we're not going to be able to fix that position this year, and this is what we're going to fix everything else, but that one position has to be left? If there is a position what would that position be? Tell me what you feel in the comments, and let us know. But we got 25 to 27 days before the Cowboys are going to be starting their new 2026 season. So, um, we should be seeing some fireworks. There should be some headlines coming up here in the next 3 weeks. The countdown has begun. So that's pretty much all I got for you guys, man. I enjoy this. I'm looking forward to what's actually coming, and I'm going to holler at y'all next time. I'm out.